Well, this is unbelievable or believable, depending on what side of the fence you are surrounding this team. They're coming off of three very hot wins. Morgan Riley, very bad game. Dennis Hildeby, very bad game. And some unlucky puck luck tonight, quite frankly. The game starts off, the Leafs are on an absolute roll. You think they're going to win the game. Not the case. Breakaway man, I mean, he had one in the first, doesn't score, and then you come back in and you lose the game. This is one that I'm not too upset about. I'm not too worried about. That being said, they probably also win this. I mean, there's a case to be made that they win this game with one of their normal goalies in net. That's how Dennis Hildeby has been this year. But ultimately, welcome in. It's going to be a shorter one today, but the Leafs lose, and they got to bounce back Saturday.
Yeah, they got the opposite Dennis Hildeby treatment. We talked about it in a video this morning where I was like, I want to see how he starts because he hasn't started well whenever he started this year. And he started well, I thought. It was okay. He made a couple saves, and I was like, all right, looks a little shaky. But then it was the reverse where he didn't finish strong, where he has the rest of the season. So not great. Definitely, Columbus definitely has the Leafs number right now. They definitely have Hildeby's number. It was not a good performance. And like you said, I mean, there is an argument to be made that the Leafs would have won this game if Woll was in net, if Stolarz was in net. It would have been a close one. Would have been a close game, that's for sure. But that's a tough loss to drop. And you knew that Columbus was going to come in hungry. They're in that wild card spot race, and they're in there now. And if the playoffs started tonight, the Leafs would be playing the Blue Jackets. So it's pretty interesting. But we'll see how it shapes up towards the end of the season. But another big game Saturday against Ottawa, another team that's hungry. But again, Nick, not a great performance from Hildeby, and a couple of the guys were sleepwalking their way through this game, I think.
Yeah, I do think that you can make a case that the Leafs outplayed Columbus tonight, at least when it comes to for the first couple periods. They kind of fell off there in the third. Morgan Riley, I mean, the whole defensive core was pretty rough tonight. And I mean, Austin Matthews with interesting. I mean, he had a goal and he was still a -3. Ryan Reeves finally got into a fight early in the game.
Fights.
The Leafs lost the game, funny enough. Played 7 minutes. I mean, no one really played great tonight. Hildeby was just bad. And, I mean, the Leafs got goalied a little bit here. Fantastic game from the Blue Jackets goaltender. I mean, if he lets a couple of those in the net in the first period, then this is this is probably a whole different story we're talking about between the game. And you have Stolarz in net, and the Leafs get a couple of those goals. The Leafs probably win this game, 8 times, 9 times out of 10, but that's not the case. Hildeby had a bad game. Morgan Riley had some lazy defensive plays, and ultimately it led to 4 goals on 18 shots. Now, I see some people in the chat saying they shouldn't have put in Hildeby. Wall needs some rest at some point, probably. But I mean, I would have rode Wall again. They do have a couple week break coming up, or they have a week break and then a little bit of time and then a week break again. So it's I don't know. It's a very, very interesting one. Power play sucks as well, which is something that needs to be fixed desperately. And
Power play's so bad.
yeah, really rough game. Pretty fun game for the first little bit, and then got really rough very fast.
I just saw the impact chart, which is released. I just sent it to you, so if you want to bring that up as well. Shocking. One of the worst of the year, for a couple guys at least. And I was actually shocked to see who's at the top of that list. But couple things. Dean Evison coaches the Columbus Blue Jackets this year. The power play looked like last year's power play tonight. Look at the negative impact on that, by the way, from everyone. Real stinker there from Connor Timmins tonight. But yeah, the power play just so passive, just ring around the rosy on the perimeter the whole time. I don't think there was a power play in the second period, I want to say, where they didn't even get a single shot, and they had the puck in the zone the entire time. How do you not have a shot on goal? That is a shame. That is awful. I don't know. One game to next, you don't know what you're going to get. Like last game, they were putting pucks to the net. That's why they were successful. And then this game, they just forget how to do that. So the power play was horrible tonight. And one thing we haven't brought up, Matthew Knies. If he's out, a couple games here long term, that is a tough loss. They're still dealing with, Tavares is out. Obviously, a couple guys trying to make their way back to the lineup. That's a tough loss if they lose him for more than a couple games, even one game.
Yeah, what's up, Jose? Tavares out. You have Anthony Stolarz out. Luckily, they do have a break coming up soon, which hopefully the break will save the day to some degree for these guys. And I mean, it's just unfortunate. At least not going anywhere in the playoffs with this power play. I would tend to agree, actually. Obviously, there's usually some overreactions. They need to fix the power play. Surprised Riley isn't further down the chart. Yeah, I mean, I agree. He had a bad visual game. And again, the thing with this is that we're probably not talking about Riley having as bad of a game as he does if there is a good goaltender in net, because 2 of those goals, You could argue more. Like the first goal of the game was atrocious. Like that is, and that's just like, nah, this is not the, and I hate on Hildeby show, but I mean, he's given up 10 goals and 2 losses against the Blue Jackets this year. I mean, you have to save that first shot. There's no, like, it's such an, I mean, I wouldn't be able to save it, but it's an easy shot for a goaltender. I think Matt Murray saves that. I think Aktiemov saves that. I think Stolar saves that. I think Joseph Wall saves that. I think what almost every goalie in the NHL saves that shot, and this isn't a random occurrence for him. He lets in easy goals fairly often.
Yeah, he does. And the intermission panel was talking about how Riley misplayed that a little bit. You have to, if you're playing the NHL, you have to read that better. Like McCabe's going to come across because he does that often, actually. And if you're teammates with him, you should probably be able to read that. And they were saying that, he let the 2-on-1 happen because he came across like that. I've seen McCabe do that a bunch of times. Riley didn't read it. He let Fantilli have a little bit of a lane there. But at the end of the day, like he didn't give Fantilli a breakaway. Like he was still in the middle there and kind of pressuring him to the perimeter. And it was just a shot that went in, right? From like the circle. He just shot it and it went in. So is it a good shot? Yeah, he placed it well, top corner, right? For sure. But as a goalie, I mean, nobody was in front of you.
Jose with
Jose.
the 20, giving some positive vibes in what was a pretty bad game. Sorry, that was a trouble game. Yeah, I mean, it was a brutal game. Jose, glad to see you back in here. And I mean, it was a really unfortunate game, I think would be the word. But Jose,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you, Jose. And I'm interested to see the post-game quotes from some of these players. So we'll see what they say this time.
Coming off of a rough loss. Thanks again, Jose, for the 20. The weak goalies show what more defenseman is needed. I mean, I think their goaltending is fine once Stoli comes back, but in the meantime, you just have to tread water. And Joseph Wall will go Saturday, and you got to win that game against the Ottawa Senators in Ottawa. So, I mean, this was the game to win. Columbus is terrible on the road. You have momentum. You have the home crowd into it. The crowd was buzzing for the first period. They pulled their goalie with 8 minutes left, which I don't hate.
Funny you bring that up, Nick, because we have a quote from Austin Matthews calling out the crowd tonight.
Wait, really?
Which like I've never heard that from him. He goes, well, he's talking about the fight specifically in the first period. Ryan Reeves fighting. Somebody asked him about it. He goes, "You love to see that. I would have liked a little more energy from the crowd after that. I thought it was a little quiet tonight, especially after two guys like that go at it." So directly calling out the Scotiabank Arena crowd. Which was it quiet? Yeah, but I think that's very interesting. Captain's calling out.
Interesting.
Out the
I guess it
crowd
wasn't
there.
too loud. Buzzing a little bit for that little stretch there, but
I thought it was, yeah.
I mean, interesting. How about you play better? How about you play better and win some games?
How do you score a goal? Yeah.
He did though.
Well, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
earlier in the game, get the crowd
I
into it,
thought,
man.
like,
If
I
you're
don't
going
know.
down
I mean,
3-0 going into the third, you're done. You're toast.
I mean, yeah, they didn't score until like 5 or 6 minutes left in the game. I don't know how loud he necessarily expects the crowd to be. And the fight wasn't a good fight either. It was an interesting fight. There were some haymakers thrown. I think it was
Nick, respectfully, I thought that was a great fight. I thought they were chucking bombs there for a bit.
big swings. They didn't have anything to cheer about. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would have cheered if I was there. What are you going to cheer about? I mean, the fight was good. I'm happy Reeves finally got one. But it's not like they were up 3 goals. But again, I mean, Austin Matthews, interesting. He seemed pretty mad towards the end of that game. He was throwing some cross checks, he seemed pretty pissed off.
He was.
Columbus was very aggressive as well. They were also pissed off. So
Yeah, Sean Corrali with a couple plays. They need a guy like Sean Corrali, I think, too. Like at the deadline, just a guy that doesn't. I thought like Domi was going to be that guy, just throwing the body around, not just throwing the body around in terms of checking, but just like doing stuff, getting under people's skin, just plowing through them, right? So I don't know, maybe they could use another guy like that at the deadline. But I thought like he was noticeable tonight, and I mean, a couple hometown boys like Fantilli scores a hat trick. Del Bel Baloo's his first. I think it was his first NHL game. Or second NHL game or something like that, or his first NHL game in Toronto, maybe at least. But that was interesting. I actually got a chance to interview him when he made the OHL, his first OHL interview. So that was nice to see him score tonight. Not gonna lie, but it would have been nice if the Leafs had won 5-1. Del Bel Baloo's a rookie on Columbus Blue Jackets. He did score tonight, but so that was all right for me. But would I like to see the Leafs win? That would have been better. Maybe a couple more goals there. Nylander robbed at the end too. It's a lot of clutching and grabbing tonight, I thought, to a degree. There's a couple of penalties called still, but
Hildeby won't play again for the Leafs. He's finished. Might even get traded at the deadline. No world they trade him at the deadline. But
no, you'll go back to tomorrow at least.
Regarding playing his last game, there's a chance. Yeah,
this year.
This year. Yeah. And he was supposed to be like a highly touted prospect. I mean, he still can be. Rushed a little bit though. I'm sure a lot of Leafs fans now have their eyes on Aktiemov instead of Hildeby because he's been pretty good.
Definitely, and I think the next call up. Well, I think Aktiemov when you're looking long term, will be that guy. That's what it's looking like right now. I don't think he's going to get called up immediately. I think Hilda be already, has that in the bag. Like he would be over him, I guess. But the net because of the roster situation right now when Stolar's got hurt, I think that's why Hildeby's up. But the next call up will be Matt Murray. I think he's playing. He's actually putting together decent games in the AHL, and he just has more NHL experience. I think he would. He wouldn't have won you this game, I don't think, but like maybe a couple more saves in that way. But
Yeah,
that's
I
the
mean,
options. That's the options you got right now. That's the
don't rush that
options.
team off. I agree. I mean, they rushed Hill to be by out of necessity, kind of, and he looks
Yeah.
bad. It's a pretty unbelievable game for me. I mean, I think they should have won probably, like really with the way they played, but at the same time, it's probably believable to some people as well because this is the way the team plays. You jinx it today. Every time you say that they're going to win, they end up losing the game. Walls had a few bad games too, but Murray would be the next night. I think you're right. Yeah, I mean, Walls'
Yeah.
bad games aren't quite as bad as these either. Like these games,
No,
this was
no.
like an AHL level goalie game. Like you could tell he was in the AHL. This is like third string janitor goalie type of play tonight. So I mean, he didn't even. He also looks extremely scared to jump on the puck. There was multiple times where the
Yes.
puck was right in front of him, slightly out of the crease, and he just stared at it and didn't jump on it. Whereas every other goalie, especially Joseph Wall, they just jump on it so that way there's no rebound chances. Luckily, it didn't cost him any goals, but he seems a little nervous. Also, if you're enjoying the stream, let's try to get to 20 likes. We're at 9. If you're in here, click the like button. Shout out to 70 of you in here on a Wednesday night late game as well. A late Wednesday night game where, I mean, the vibes are kind of meh. I think most people are just gonna forget about this one.
I usually on streams, it's a loss, right? So the vibes are not that high. And, I try to stay off Twitter after a loss. Connor Timmins is getting grilled tonight on social media. People are done with this player. I thought he started the season strong, but he's had a tough time the last month or so, I think. And again, tonight, impact chart showed it in the game. You could see it in the eye test. And just to touch on what you're talking about too, Hildeby, he looked, I don't know if the word's scared, but like he wouldn't jump on the puck. I thought that was weird. Like he wasn't. I don't know. He seemed very odd in net tonight,
Weird.
and the whole season that he's been in the NHL. It's weird though because you put him down in the Marlies and he'll get a shutout like his first game, right? Like
Confident.
it's. I know it's
He
confidence
got
is
the
everything for a
yips. He
goalie.
got the yips. The football
Maybe
kicker yips. It's the same thing, except NHL goalie. Football kicker yips. 8 likes away from 20. Rough game. At the end of the day, the
yeah.
Leafs are going to be fine. They're going to move on. Play Saturday. Hopefully win. You have Connor Timmins out, I would assume. Philip Myers probably factoring back in. Might press the issue on getting a new defenseman. They need to make a move for a third line center. If Matthew Nyes is out any period of time, they're going to have to make some other moves. Let's dive into our 3 stars. Let's dive into
Yeah.
our 3 stars.
A little
And
bit of a tease here too, since Joshua brought it up, but we'll get into our 3 stars here. Leafs need to make a move and probably need to make a move soon. Eric's been talking about it on the call-ins here, where somebody, they got to make a trade to get these guys acclimated to the lineup. We're gonna have a video tomorrow morning
what's up, Blake?
where we may have a solution for who they're gonna trade for and where they fill in all these holes. So stay tuned
Horrible
for that
game for
tomorrow morning.
McCabe as well. My 3rd star of the night is going to go to Mitch Marner. Played fine. That's all I got for you.
Played fine. I'm gonna go 3rd star. I feel like you could go a couple different ways here. I'm gonna go with Matthew Nyes, just because I thought he actually won a couple puck battles, like when he was in the game before he got hurt, using his body effectively. So I didn't mind his game. He's been playing really well lately, so I'll go with him third
My
star.
number 2nd star is Austin. Austin Matthews had a great game. Like he didn't though, but he had a fine game. He scored the goal.
Yep.
Positive offensive impact, and yeah, we're gonna go with that.
I'm gonna go William Nylander for my 2nd star. And
What's up, Robert, with the 5? Have you guys heard what happened with
hey,
Nyes?
Robert.
Left game with upper injury. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get more updates on that tomorrow or on Friday, because again, now they have 2 days off in between games, so probably nothing tomorrow on that. We'll keep you up to date though, Robert. Thanks for the 5. Hopefully he's okay.
Hopefully. But we haven't heard much about that. But again, anytime, I don't know, we've seen a couple times where guys leave games this year and it's just precautionary and they'll come back, right? So hopefully it's just that. And they kept them out because they're like, hey, we're probably going to lose this game anyway.
Absolutely.
But William Nylander, 2nd star for me, had a couple good chances tonight and there wasn't too much to like from anybody else. So
My 1st star is William Nylander for all the reasons that you just said. Had a very solid game. Skating is impactful, and I mean, no one played good. So
no, Austin Matthews, 1st star for me, scored. That's all.
yeah,
That's 1st star.
and had a
There you
couple
go.
good chances as well.
Yeah, he was making things happen to a degree. So, especially in the first period, like they were buzzing there for a little bit. It's too bad they couldn't capitalize there and go up, but
And
That's
Brendan, I'm not saying
shocking.
they're done with Hildeby. I still think he has potential. He just needs, I don't know. I mean, he hasn't shown it at the NHL level. Like his stats are really bad. So I think he'll eventually be okay. I don't know if he's ever going to be a 1A
Goalies
goalie though.
goalies are weird, man. I would give goalie if you're like any goalie in your system, unless he's like Carey Price or something, like he's going to be like a superstar goaltender. You just the skill is there and it always has been. Give them till like they're 25, honestly. Like 25, 26,
Yeah.
and just see what happens. Like I feel like a lot of goalies just come out of nowhere at that age. And it's like they didn't come out of nowhere. They've been in the AHL putting in work and boosting their confidence. So guys like this, give them another year or two, right? I know the Leafs aren't in a position to do that, but with everyone healthy, we're not going to see Hilda in the playoffs, right? When it matters.
Oh,
So
no.
it'll be
Might
at
see
least
him
we
the
hope
year
not.
after next when Stolar's contract is up, depending
Right.
on what they do with Wall.
Exactly.
But ladies and
So,
gentlemen, any final thoughts for us? A short stream. I'm traveling, heading to Toronto tomorrow, like in a few hours. So obviously going to get some sleep there. So I'll be in the Toronto area. So if any of you are in Toronto and you recognize me in the streets somehow, feel free to say hello. I know a lot of you guys are in the Toronto area there. Maple Leafs, please trade for some depth. It is pretty rough right now. It is pretty rough. Like Timmins looks bad. Domi looks kind of terrible too, for being honest. But any final thoughts, Darius? It was an interesting one. I didn't feel any anger. Like usually I'm pretty mad after a loss.
Yeah.
I just like the team played fine. What's up, Scooby?
this wasn't the Vancouver loss to me.
No.
This was more goaltending.
No one's going to be talking about this game in
No.
a week, even Saturday probably.
No, like
Puck
this
luck
one
was
will disappear, I
horrible as
think.
well. Really
Puck luck's
bad.
horrible. I thought they didn't even play that bad.
I didn't think so either.
Yeah, like
Towards the end they started to be, but even then they pushed till the end.
they
Nick
did.
and Darius
Yeah.
getting together, we are, but we've met each other before, so it's
Yes.
getting together is an interesting way to phrase that. We are, yeah, we're definitely gonna meet up.
For sure.
All right. Any final thoughts? 2 likes away from 20. If you want to, if you guys want to help us hit that goal. Video for you all. My future videos after tomorrow will be from random setups. So bear with that.
Somewhere. They'll be from somewhere.
I am bringing the mic though, so it should be a mic that is.
Yes.
So everything should be good there. Well, it was a rough game, but Jose, thank you again for your 20. Robert, thank you for your 5. Bringing some
Thank you,
positive,
guys.
always showing positive vibes, bringing some positivity in a pretty Wednesday night game. Kind of boring, if we're being honest. Like the game was good, but rough loss for the Leafs. But that'll
Definitely.
wrap it up. My cousin invited them to the wedding. I know Saturday Darius will be here. I won't be there on Saturday. I'm going to enjoy my trip a little bit. I get away with a lot with my girlfriend, but I don't think streaming on vacation is going to be something I'm going to be able to do.
I'll
But-
be here live right here.
Luckily, they only
on
play once
Saturday.
while I'm gone, Thursday to Monday.
Yes.
So I'm back for the next stream after you guys, after Saturday. So Darius has you guys in good hands.
Do the videos Kevin Week style. You should, yeah. With your phone up here.
But you might see a little Zoom call in depending
Yeah.
on how I'm feeling maybe on Saturday. So we'll
That is true. We can get you in there
I
on
can definitely get
Saturday,
in for like I'll be
yeah.
watching the game probably from a restaurant or a bar or something like that. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely it depends on the vibes. But have a great night, everybody. Stay safe, and we will see you in a video tomorrow afternoon. And take it easy. And the Leafs will be good. They're gonna stay atop the Atlantic because Florida's kind of mid. But Darius, it's gonna be an interesting one. They're not mid. They're very good, but
but
we're okay.
they'll stay
We're-
behind. They'll
they'll
stay
stay
behind.
behind.
They'll
Take it
stay in
easy,
second.
Have a great night.
Please digest your daily dose of gold. Stories of the bold where legends are told. From first pop drop to the season's full. Tune in and watch the drama